So you guys know how it goes. It's a Wednesday morning, at least for me, and that's when FGO JP drops all of their new updates. And yeah, I had to kind of like rub my eyes a little bit. I was like, they can't be serious. Tell me this isn't like some kind of like little jab towards the NA version of the game, or this isn't just like some sick joke or something. Because if maybe you're a newer player and you're like, I don't understand why this is at least kind of ironically funny. Basically, over on the NA version of the game, we've been waiting for our Ooku rerun for like the last month at this point. And then like we were like, oh, okay, so maybe it'll happen right before anniversary. And we're like, no, it doesn't look like there's enough time before anniversary. Well, maybe it'll happen after anniversary. Well, no, that's when Summer 5 has to take place. And so we're just all sitting here scratching our heads being like, are we getting Ooku like anytime soon? And while we're over here just trying to find out when we're going to get this event, JP over here is just like, yeah, we're doing a main interlude for this event. The funny thing is that these main interludes are there to help people like get free-to-play servants that they've missed, right? And so they prioritize putting this one out that doesn't give you a free-to-play servant, by the way, over all of the other events that they could have brought back. They could have brought back, they could have done the one for Chloe with the Ilya event, so people could have an easy opportunity to get Chloe. They could have done it for Kentucky Rider. Literally any of these servants would have been fine. Bro, I don't even have Jolter Berserker on JP. You could have done a Summer 3 interlude, man. Like, you could have done something like that. So, it's just, I don't know. I don't know if Lasengel is just pulling, like, a big fat meme on everybody here. Because it's like, I'm like, bro, we're over here on the NA version of the game. We're fiending for this because it's obviously a good event because it brings this amazing summoning campaign. I mean, you have a chance to get Kama, Kiara, Shahrazad is, let me not dunk on her too much. You can do you can arts loop with her, but like, she's not like comparable to Kama and Kiara. But then Parvati as the 4-star, the banner's pretty insane. Like, the banner is really, really good, and all of these servants, probably except Shahrazad, are very, very popular. And so I'm just scratching my head being like, why was it this event over any of the free-to-play ones? Because these main interludes were ways for players to gain access to a lot of the free-to-play servants that they missed out on, right? Because you get to do a short and sweet version of the event, get yourself an NP1 copy, and then scoop up the other copies from the Rare Mana Prism shop. So like, it kind of gave you a way to actually get these like really insane free-to-play servants that you might have missed. I mean, they've already done it with like BB, who is really, really good. They've done it with, Altera Santa, who is just pretty good. Like, I don't think she's really insane or cracked or anything, but she is good. But you could have like thrown in any other free-to-play servant over here. And I understand not maybe wanting to do any more of the Christmas servants or any of the summer servants, because if you guys don't remember or just weren't playing at the time, they did this massive like Halloween type thing, right? Where they let you get all of like a lot of the past Halloween servants, because they're all Liz servants. And then through the next event, you can kind of get their NP5 copies and everything. And they even gave them a bunch of little buffs and everything here and there. So they might be planning something like that for, say, Christmas servants or the summer servants. But as far as someone like Kentucky Rider is concerned, or Chloe, it's like, you don't have to do that for them because they're pretty self-contained. They don't really have any other free-to-play servants that are really connecting to them. Even someone like Shiki. Shiki was one of like the first free-to-play servants to come out, and she hasn't been available for God knows how long, especially over on the JP version of the game. And she would actually be really good as like a single target arts assassin to get your hands on. So I mean, if you're playing the JP version of the game, this is obviously going to be a very tantalizing banner to summon for. I'm almost kind of worried though that I'm like, does this mean that like JP's anniversary is coming up soon? Because last time, well, I guess not last time, but 2 years ago, before JP's anniversary, they put out the Ooku rerun, right? They put out Kama and Kiara, and then they went into Castoria. I'm like, is this some kind of like, maybe I'm looking way too deep into it, right? But I'm like, man, is this some kind of like callback to that while also dunking on the NA version of the game? you're like, oh yeah, we're gonna try to throw out Kama and Kiara because it's gonna work. I'm gonna summon for Kama. Like, I'm obviously going to do that. So it's going to get my sync words, but I'm like, does this mean like anniversary's right around the corner? Are you guys trying to do some like cute little callback thing? I'm not too sure, but if you're on the JP version of the game, yeah, this is definitely a banner that is worth summoning for, because let me just go through real quick and I'll just, I'll go over all the servants and like what they do especially. So it's also kind of funny because Kiara Summer is on raid up over on NA, and now we have the other Kiaras on raid up over on JP. That's just hilarious. Kama over here gives herself this ability to like overcharge her NP. That's because her overcharge buffs her quick performance. That's how she gets her quick buff. She also gives herself a 50% battery over here. That also gives her the special damage mod against alter egos. It kind of gives her the same niche that like say someone like Musashi has, where like they are a normal class servant that has a really good advantage against alter egos. Sorry about that. They cut away for a second, but it gives her a very good special damage mod against alter egos and kind of makes her your go-to for not only clearing riders and berserkers, but also in clearing alter egos, because she gets a special damage mod for 3 turns. She gets a small crit buff, but then more importantly, she gets this, which gives her the ability to basically charm lock her opponents for a turn. It just makes Kama very, very good. Her NP gain is pretty high. She's just like, she's like a more modern Jack, right? Like, she's really, really insane. Especially if you have Scotty, but even if you don't have Scotty, because as someone that had Kama over on the NA version of the game and no Scotty, this girl puts in the work. The only thing is that keep your Kama in her 3rd or 4th ascension, all right? Don't be this guy, all right? Don't let me see you be this guy on your friends list. You get the big the big busty lady. Alright, I gotta finish that sentence seriously. But so Kama is obviously very good. Kiara is still like one of the best boss killing servants in the game, and as I found out a couple of weeks ago, also really good at farming. Evidently, even if you have like say an assassin and lancer node, as long as there's like only one lancer on the node, Kiara should be fine to still loop, right? I've been doing a lot of experimenting with her, and she seems to be pretty cracked when it comes to farming. But let me go ahead and update this over here. But yeah, basically this is the main thing, that she's going to give herself a 50% battery. She can neuter their arts resistance. Her second skill also gives her the ability to drain all enemies NP gauge, which is really insane. And then she neuters their defensive buffs. And then for whatever reason, they were like, you know what, it's still not good enough. Let's give it a buff where she just yeets their buffs off, which is stupid dummy broken, because that means Kiara not only has the Amakusa effect of yeeting all of the enemy's buffs, but she also just pierces invincibility and defense over here as well. It's, yeah, she's pretty nutty. By the way, did you know that she has a damage mod against rulers? Like, she's just blatantly super effective against them, because I guess she's supposed to be like having some advantage over what is his name, the guy from Fate Extra, the Saver class guy. Well, I forget what his name is, but it's basically Buddha, right? And he's a Saver class. We don't have Saver in the game, so I guess they were like, she could just take it against rulers. Like, she could take it against rulers, that's fine, man. And then she has like the Omni, like basically the Giga Broken Tamamo skill that like Summer Tamamo has, but she, instead of stunning herself, she just does 3,000 damage to herself. So yeah, she's pretty broken. Kama's pretty broken. This is definitely going to snag a lot of people's Saint Cords, because I know it's going to get some of mine, because Kama over here is just in general a really good single target DPS servant that also just lets you kill any alter ego you want. And then if you have Scotty, which Scotty got a recent rerun over with the Santa Martha Christmas event, right? They gave Scotty like another banner for her to return. So if you're one of the lucky people like myself that snagged Scotty during that banner, your Kama is going to go sick, nasty, crazy with the sauce. And then if you have Kiara, I mean, look, NP1 Kiara kind of hits like a potato even after her NP buff. But if you were like me and your GSSR from like New Year's was, hey, here's 2 Kiaras in your multi, and now you have NP3 Kiara, it really doesn't matter at that point. Really, you could go for NP2 and she'll be absolutely fine. Or you could just be like absolutely lucky like me, and the GSSR just really wants you to use Kama or Kiara, and they just give you 2 in a GSSR, which was Ridiculous. I would not summon for Shahrazad. I don't really think she's worth going for. I guess I could go over real quick. She's not bad. You can definitely do arts looping stuff with her, but what servant can you not arts loop with? The arts buff here helps her like her damage, and it's going to help her with her looping ability by buffing the NP gain of her arts card. She has a 30% battery, which is nice. This doesn't really do anything for you in farming, and this skill is cool in the way that like you can give all of your allies guts, and you can give yourself a massive guts that's pretty much always online, because as you can see, it's up for 5 turns and she's on a 6-turn cooldown. But it's just like, I don't know, man. It just doesn't feel like enough. King is not a bad special damage mod for her to have, but it's just like, I don't know, something feels a little missing, if that makes sense. I almost feel like I would have liked Shahrazad a little bit more if this was like a support NP or something. I don't know, but that's just me personally, how I feel about Shahrazad. I think you could have done like really cool things with her ability to tell stories, and morphing her NP into some like giga really impressive support NP. But you can farm with her, I guess, if you do want to go for her. It's just, I know that she's not super popular, so I don't know how many people are going to go for her anyway. Then finally, there's Parvati. Parvati, if you're still looping with Scotty on the JP version of the game, she's really good. Like I said with Ilya, she has like the trifecta of buffs you want your quick loopers to have. Boom, quick buff, boom, NP gain buff, boom, battery. Although this in practice really is only a 20% battery, because she takes 10% of her own and then gives herself 20%. So in practice, it's really only a 20% battery. And then if you're wondering about this skill, you just pop this on wave 3. You just go like Super Saiyan 3 with this sick, nasty attack buff. And then if they somehow live, you gen a billion stars, because, you know, quick NP plus 100% star gen means I have a million stars on the field. And then she also has the ability to charm lock people. This also helps her with farming as well, because it gives her, it's kind of like how people would use Artoria Saber to kind of loop her own NP, loop quotation marks, because she gives herself fat globs of NP on her NP. Similar thing, except she's actually using it for looping over here. So yeah, basically very broken banner. If you summon for Kama, Kiara, or for Parvati, I completely understand it. But just know that over on JP, we're approaching anniversary, and the last couple of anniversaries have been really broken over on JP. Like, we're just like, think about the last couple of anniversaries. Like, year 1 was Da Vinci, and that was kind of like okay. Year 2 was Sherlock, which was good, but he didn't exactly break the meta. Then year 3 was Scotty, which literally broke the game. Year 4 was Da Vinci Rider, which was really, really good, but felt like she was missing a team. And then now she's especially broken, because year 5 was Castoria, who again broke the game again. Year 6, Tomamovich broke the game again. Like, they became the trifecta of buffing servants. And do I think year 7 is going to be like some kind of quick buffing servant? Lord, I hope so. But with all that being said, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like on the video. You subscribe for more daily FGO content. Again, we are recording all of this stuff over on my vacation setup. So we're recording it on a potato. I'm very sorry if you're a new viewer and you're like, bro, this ETL guy sounds like garbage. Go watch some of the other content. I promise it's a lot better. But with all that being said, I want to go ahead and get out of here. You guys have yourselves a nice day. Peace. Late, guys.